Network made a...
Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan are arrested in Romania as part of a human trafficking probe. News broke late Thursday evening by BNO News that the pair were arrested on December 29th. Now, this news comes just hours after Tate made waves with climate activist Greta Thunberg going back and forth on Twitter about carbon dioxide emitting cars. Tate, who had previously been kicked off social media platforms for so-called misogyny and hateful ideations, had also made news last month. As Long Crime Network's Sidebar reported, he sued YouTuber Ethan Klein after Klein called him a sex trafficker. Now, at the time, Tate's attorneys sent Klein a cease and...
So sad. So sad because it seems like he's going to fucking lose that. You know what I mean? Thank Elon for letting Tate get back on Twitter so he can God himself. Yeah. This proves you go to prison if you get ratioed too hard. Fucker, here, let's do it. Let's watch the Mogul Mail on Andrew Tate. On the Andrew Tate saga.
I told myself I wasn't going to make another video about Andrew Tate, mostly because the content around Andrew Tate is very repetitive and
he was probably in here watching.
Boring. Plus, it just makes the bald man richer
Here,
anyway.
go ahead.
So
Listen
what's
to
really
Ludwig.
the point? But much like a messy shit, every time I look down at the toilet paper, Andrew Tate is still there. And today's shit is especially messy and worth talking about because it's official that Andrew Tate has been arrested in Romania on human trafficking charges alongside his brother. And the fun part? It is all thanks to Greta Thunberg, the climate activist from a few years ago. She was like the 15-year-old. It's her. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, it might sound a bit familiar that Andrew Tate had something with the law and human trafficking. And that's because in April of 2022, earlier this year, his entire compound was raided by the Romanian police. Now, he said it was like a swatting thing and had nothing to do with human trafficking. And the story kind of died down and no one really knew what was going on. But now, thanks to some of the stories that were posted by Alejandra on Twitter, we seem to have a better picture. There was a tip to the U.S. Embassy by a boyfriend of an American woman who alerted the embassy that she was being held against her will by Andrew Tate. And the story goes like this. American woman's dating this guy. Andrew Tate hits her up on social media. Says, hey, I'll fly you out to Romania. Bad Andrew Tate impression, but you get the point. She took the flight because I guess he's rich and bald and she likes those things. And he showed her a good time. Until he forced her to work as a video chat model, or at least she felt threatened and forced to work as a video chat model. And she contacted her ex and was like, hey, I fucked up. I made a mistake. And then he contacted an embassy, a U.S. embassy in Bucharest, the capital of Romania. And very quickly, they realized this is kind of like organized crime and we're crossing countries here. And this is a bit of a big deal. And if you don't know, most human trafficking comes from somebody who you might know. There's like a literal strategy in human trafficking of lover boy, like trying to lead people into a certain area. And so this tip originally came in April, but the authorities just now had enough evidence to actually book and charge the Tate brothers and put them into custody. Originally in April, they went and hoped to maybe find the girl, but she wasn't there. I guess now they have some information. And this also proves, you know, a bit of a point here, why Andrew Tate moved to Romania in the first place. This is a direct quote from him, by the way. If corruption exists, which it does, let us all play. I like living in a society where my money, influence, and power means I'm not below or beholden to any of these bullshit laws. I mean, here's a clip of him on a podcast. Just listen. Does this sound like somebody who moved to Romania to do maybe some nefarious things? I think maybe.
There are countries in the world where there's a really interesting, delicate balance of a government and a police force which are not strong. And when I'm saying that, I'm not saying I'm breaking the law. I'm not saying it in that way. I'm saying that minor infractions or tiny things are not going to be, I'm not going to be persecuted to the end of earth I would in the UK for a parking ticket.
Yeah, it's
right?
mad because
So it sounds like he went to Romania and that's where he resides because maybe the police are a little more relaxed. Maybe he's able to bribe some of the officials there. Maybe he can do some things that he wouldn't be able to do in the UK or US that he feels like the politicians in those areas.
You bar for bar drop your lover boy method. Man, it's not unique. Like, it's not. And also, it's not weird. Like, that's the point. That's why I do this.
Can do. And maybe part of this.
Sure, he could have come up with it himself as well.
To
He's
fly
great.
from across
Mogul
the
Mail
world
is a great.
to do his webcam business that maybe they don't want to do, and that at least is what the Romanian police believe, or at least the U.S. Embassy, who probably asked the Romanian police to arrest Andrew Tate and
Mogul Mill is funded by the Saudis. True.
his brother. Now, what does this have to do with Greta Thunberg? Well, let's talk about Andrew Tate being unbanned on Twitter. Now, I didn't make a video about this because who fucking cares? It's twitter.com. But it's true. Elon Musk unbanned Andrew Tate after 5 years. And part of his unban was a little conversation with Greta Thunberg, who is on Twitter. And here's how the interaction went. Andrew Tate randomly tweeted at Greta, said, "Hello, Greta. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has a cool engine. I don't know. I drive a goddamn Subaru Sandbar from 97. My 2 Ferraris also have big engine. This is just the start. Please provide me your email so I can send a complete list of my car collection and the respective enormous emissions."
Which now, of course, is no longer his car collection and has been seized by the Counterterrorism and Sex Trafficking Unit in Romania. So, whoo! God damn. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you hate to see it. You hate to see it sometimes, okay? But like, not really. You don't actually hate to see it. Pretty funny. You love to see it.
Because she's an activist against climate change, and he's like, I do so many emissions. So many. It's so cool. To which Greta replied, "Yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com. Little bit of a roast there, but the roast picked up very quickly on Twitter. It got 2.8 million likes. I've never seen a ratio this big ever. His tweet got 193,000. She got 2.8 million. We're talking about like a...
Bro, this is yet another example that, like, you should never be the main character on Twitter. When you become the main character, the main villain of Twitter, because Twitter always has a villain. There's always a villain of the day. You become the villain of the day, you're going to fucking prison, dog. Okay? That's how it works. I know. I have been the main villain of Twitter. It's awful. It's an awful feeling.
a 10x multiplier and then some? To which he replied, "How dare you?" To which I thought was joking, but no, he was mad. He was mad. You can look, because he immediately started tweeting a shit ton about Greta. Strange as it may seem, there's a teenager out there who believes your government should tax you into poverty to stop the sun from being hot. And then he also retweeted a bunch of people who were like, Greta's response was actually botted. Also, it's not even a good insult because that's her email. So she has a small dick, actually. And honestly, he's Tate is organically popular and Greta is like hated. People don't like her. So he's retweeting all these things. He seems very upset. He tweets something totally unhinged in a reply to somebody who said Andrew Tate and Greta should stop flirting and fuck already. And then he said she ain't ready. He's pushing 40. Now, to be clear, she is 19. I think everyone kind of envisions her as the child she was when she originally did the climate change. But I mean, we can relax with the Seinfeld age difference. You know, it's a little bit bold there, a little bit weird, a little bit creepy.
Ooh, Seinfeld call out.
And he
nice.
wasn't done. He was so upset by this ratio from Greta. He also made this Twitter video. And this is the smoking gun. Let's just watch it together. It's a bit cringe, but let's stick through it.
Release some greenhouse gases. I'm obviously a stranger to online controversy. It's not something I often do. But now, the mainstream press is commenting on the fact that I was informing Greta that my very extensive car collection with internal combustion engines, which run on dead dinosaurs, have an enormous emission profile. And she replied by telling me her own email address. Greta's email address is, I have small dick energy.
I'm placing a $5 bet that Ludwig is going to mention that cardboard pizza boxes are not recyclable.
Why would that be your own email address, Greta?
Pretty obvious that it was just like a bit of a roast and she didn't care to give him the time. But again, going along with the I am not owned is his strategy here.
I mean,
50 gifted subs.
It's 50-50, but it is what it is.
50
I'm not
gifted
actually
subs.
mad,
50
Greta.
gifted subs.
Please bring me pizza.
It would be so weird if you were.
Make sure that
All
these
she did was
boxes are
ratio
not
you.
recycled.
Okay, just remember this moment. Remember this moment. He asked for a pizza box and he says, make sure it's not recycled, which is also fine, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this. Cardboard recycling is honestly one of the least effective means of recycling because we have so much excess in cardboard. Still worth recycling your cardboard, but you also can't recycle any dirty dirty cardboard, which oftentimes pizza, if they don't have the wax paper underneath, can't even be recycled because it makes the box unusable. It can't actually be recycled. Or if it's like a wax dyed cardboard, you know, like sometimes
can't be recycled.
if you get a package. So oftentimes pizza boxes can't be
Easy
recycled.
baller, filibuster,
Maybe
Andrew, the
he's,
beef
like,
farmer,
actually
little
super
bear,
progressive and
36
knows it.
billionaire
Thank you.
with another 50 gift
I'm
debt.
actually mad at Greta, right? Because she doesn't realize she's been programmed. She doesn't realize she's a slave of the Matrix. She thinks she's doing good. Someone has sat her down and convinced her to try and convince you to beg your government to tax you into.
I'll save you the rest of the speech. He kind of goes on to say that climate change isn't real, and that's basically the whole of it. But you know, call me crazy. I'm a believer that climate change is real, and I think the biggest impact on climate change,
not like
are
Andrew,
on unregulated corporations that need to be regulated in some fashion. And so, you know, that's a conversation for a different day. But the interesting part about the video were these two pizza boxes that he brought out as some sort of stunt to own Greta because he wasn't recycling. It turns out that the Romanian authorities needed proof that Andrew Tate was in the country because he travels so much. And they reportedly used his social media posts, including a Romanian pizza chain, Jerry's Pizza, which confirmed that he was in the country and able to be arrested. So all it took was a 19-year-old girl, one ratio, and him trying to unown himself to get arrested by authorities for human trafficking. I can't think of a larger clown on the internet right now than Andrew Tate. That's the whole story. I think it's fucking hilarious. I hope it was worth even talking about Andrew Tate for a moment. And that's it. All right. Thank you all for watching. All right. Subscribe if you're still here. And have a good rest of your day. All right. See you later. Goodbye.
You know he bought the pizza just to make that video too? Oh yeah. His ass did all of the wrong things. God damn, it feels so fucking good, dude. What are the next steps for him? I mean, there'll be probably criminal charges. We'll see what happens. Do you think he's thought about you? Bitch, I don't need to infer or make assumptions. I know he does. I mean, probably not in this very moment because it seems like there's a lot bigger, things happening in his life. But like, he has talked regularly about like supposedly women coming up to him and saying how they find him desirable, unlike me. Just fucking constantly making shit up. Greta has been after his ass for a long time. You can't make this up. The Romanian authorities were urged last year to effectively prosecute human traffickers by Greta, the group of experts against trafficking human beings. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, this is going to fucking break people's brains, dude. People are going to unironically come out as like pro-sex trafficking if they haven't yet. Okay, that's number one. All the fucking chuds that are like Pizzagate are going to be like, actually, this is good and normal. But this is going to break people's fucking brains. I swear to God. What is this? If you're going to cut a diss video while also being wanted by the government, be sure to be mindful of OPSEC. For example. Yep. No, exactly. I don't think he knew he was being investigated by the government, though. I think he basically fucking thought like he was good. They arrested him. Nothing came out of it. And that bitch was just a jealous girl or whatever. Like, remember, that's what he said. Pretty weird that none of the Pizzagate people predicted Andrew Tate. Well, additionally weird because, this is fucking Sam Moreau who does the funny trans jokes. Additionally weird that a lot of them are fans of Andrew Tate, I think. Libs of TikTok constantly calls LGBTQ people groomers. Meanwhile, she's following Andrew Tate's account and liking his tweets. Tate was recently arrested for sex trafficking. Chaya Rachel can't recognize the actual threat to women and children right in front of her. Yup. It's just like the idea that the most online man who made a career for himself on the internet talking about how he was like trying to escape the Matrix. The irony of that is not lost upon me. Okay. Like, oh yes, I'm trying to escape the Matrix. I'm above the Matrix. I'm above the Matrix. Meanwhile, like, what is the Matrix? Don't sex traffic. Many people are telling me that, I should not be doing sex trafficking. And to them, I say, I'm above the Matrix. Anyway, so here's the press release, and there's the video of their raid, which we watched already. In the case, it was noted that at the beginning of 2024, 4 suspects, 2 British citizens and 2 Romanian citizens, constitute a criminal group organized in order to commit crimes on the territory of Romania, but also other countries such as the United States of America and Great Britain, of the crime of human trafficking. Victims were recruited by British citizens by misrepresenting their intention to enter into a marriage/cohabitation relationship at the existence of genuine feelings of love, the lover boy method. They were later transported and housed in buildings in Ilfov County, where by exercising acts of physical violence and mental coercion through intimidation, constant surveillance, and control, invoking alleged debts, they were sexually exploited. We basically read this over and over again at this point. I feel like I've read it so many fucking times that I don't need to read it again, you know? But yeah, that's what happened. They got is what happened, really. Any chance he gets extradited? To what? No. Best birthday gift you could have hoped for? I mean, this is just a really good gift for everybody involved, you know? It's a good gift for, enjoyers of... It's just a great gift in general for people who think it's bad to do sex trafficking. Like, that's a gift. A really good gift. Like, if you yourself are an enjoyer of laws or enjoyer of, making sure that sex trafficking doesn't happen, then, you're going to think about this as like a good thing, If you're a respecting women enjoyer, that's a good thing for you. I myself am pretty excited at the prospect. I'm pretty excited at watching conservatives who will most likely use this as an opportunity to get more unhinged and basically fucking say things like Andrew Tate was not actually a sex trafficker, but instead a victim of the Matrix, that sort of thing. Because it's coming. I'm also kind of sad that unfortunately Andrew is going to most likely lose the case against Ethan that his lawyers were trying to put forward. Ethan Klein says, and that's why I call him Andrew the Human Trafficker. He sent me a cease and desist threatening to sue me for defamation for saying he's a human trafficker. What else am I supposed to call someone that buys and sells human beings against their will? Andrew Tate, the human trafficker. This is a terrible blow to your case, Cobra Tate. Being arrested for human trafficking tends to make it hard to sue people for calling you a human trafficker. Here's all the things he didn't like me saying about him being Andrew the human trafficker who traffics in human beings. I feel like at this point, oh, what the fuck? There's one other thing we got to talk about, which is our very own Hasan Piker got the opportunity to debate Cobra Tate, the human trafficker. Dude, Andrew Tate, Hasan was trying to make one very simple point, which is impurely women are actually better drivers than men. One of Cobra, the human trafficker's point, tries to make is, I don't think women are good drivers. So, got yet another instance where I got fucking mentioned in another court case, I guess. But, oh, I was right. Yeah, look at that. Allegedly, the Tate brothers' home was raided in Romania. My guess is this has nothing to do with the real crime, but a way to silence and harass him. The FBI, CIA colluded with big tech to ban him. It's not what he says about women or his Twitter beefs that they fear. They used the fake Russia collusion to get unlimited investigation. Wow. Dude, how many times do you have to get knocked in the fucking head to come up with that? Because, that's awesome. actually. And by the way, I said that they were going to do this, and they have already started doing this. It's wild. Like, why is he saying allegedly the home was raided? Like, brother, they raided the home. You're saying allegedly he's a sex trafficker, okay? That's what you're saying allegedly on. A different Asmon take?
I think that the most likely outcome of this, okay, this is, let me summarize this one more time because I know people keep bringing this up. I think that the most likely outcome for this is that neither of them go to jail, nothing happens, they either get fined a bunch of money or they get kicked out of the country, and that's it. I find it unlikely that both of them will...
He's not wrong. Couple different angles. I don't know which one of this is going to be the truest, okay? I do believe that Andrew Tate was working with the Romanian mafia. The Romanian mafia most likely has connections to the police. Maybe the Romanian mafia is no longer excited about the prospect of having one of their money launderers constantly fucking getting into trouble, constantly fucking being, online and talking about how he is connected to the fucking Romanian mafia. Not a good thing to be so high profile. Do I think that the Romanian government or the Romanian authorities genuinely care a lot about sex trafficking and that that's why they're busting this guy? Maybe. I think what's more likely, however, is that again, Andrew Tate is way too public. He got so famous that it unironically hurt Romanian PR in general. People probably don't want to be associated with this as a country, but they probably don't love being associated with a fucking guy who's like talking about how shitty Romania is and how easy it is to do crimes there and how easy it is to fucking bribe people. So they were like, okay, well, fuck your loud ass, dude. Here's what we'll do. Peter Thiel and Glenn Greenwald's YouTube knockoff service paid Andrew Tate a handsome sum to start streaming from their services here. A few months ago, Thiel was photographed entering a Romanian castle for a secret Halloween party that Musk allegedly also attended. There's a reason Epstein met with Steve Bannon when the heat picked up on him. He realized that the right will embrace literally anyone who owns the libs, even and especially when they are wealthy or powerful. Mike Cernovich is an actual admitted violent rapist who has worked closely with Alan Dershowitz. These are the stars of the new right. Why are people asking Mike Cernovich about Andrew Tate? Because Mike Cernovich took a trip to Andrew Tate's Romanian sex den in September 2019, but he didn't take his wife. Dude went alone on purpose, probably for peaceful meditation and definitely not sex, of course. That's it, though. A lot of these fucking right-wing freaks, like, they have either A, done awful shit, or B, are still in the process of doing awful shit. But, like, so many of these motherfuckers, like, they don't care. As long as you're popping a little bit, you have, like, a little bit of fucking clout. I mean, yeah, here it is.
It's absolutely crazy what a government will do to you if they are instructed.
Oh. No, I'm not eating Takis. I'm eating turnips. Anyway, when you're a right-wing guy and you have a little bit of clout, like, I mean, the right wing will embrace you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking child rapist, dude. I mean, Roy Moore is a great example of this. Roy Moore was going to take a seat in Alabama. And they had already invested too much into that. They could not change the tides. So they fucking ran with him. Even though he was literally a, pedophile. They don't give a fuck. No, these are not. These are pickled turnips.
And it's more crazy what your fellow man will do to you. It's not to be a pessimist, but it's kind of crazy now. Like when I see a police officer on the street, I'm like, yeah, you're fine now. Oh, you're all smiles now. But if it was still during COVID, you'd be trying to beat the shit out of me for not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I don't forgive and I don't forget. I don't forgive and I don't forget. And I'm kind of lucky I live in Romania. This is one of the reasons
Dog. That's not the reason why he was afraid of cops, okay?
love Romania, is because Romania is a corrupt country, right? But what's amazing about corrupt countries is everyone can play. I like the poor countries because everyone can be corrupt. If I don't want to wear a mask and a police officer comes up to me and says, wear a mask, I say no, and I give him 10 pounds, so leave me alone. I prefer that than them to come along and pretend there's law and order, and there is law and order to destroy my life. But if I'm a elite, I can go to an island. It's absolutely crazy what a government will do to you if they are instructed. And it's more crazy what your fellow man will do to you. It's not to be a pessimist, but it's kind of crazy now. Like when I see a police officer on the street, I'm like, yeah, you're fine.
Police officers, the #1 mask enforcers, maybe in UK. I think I might be talking about the UK. The conservatives that are defending him in his sex trafficking are also the same people that cry about trans people grooming kids without questioning whether any of the people that this dirtbag traffic were kids. Yeah, because again and again and again, we have to repeat this. Conservatives have no fucking moral compass. They have no consistency. Don't look for it. Most people don't have consistency. Most people are hypocritical. Okay? But on top of that, conservatives don't really have like a moral compass. They don't give a shit. They just want to own the libs. They're reactionaries. Their entire life purpose is to react to the libs. Not reactionary in the sense that they watch like fucking clips and stuff like I do. But the political, the political concept, reactionary.